So, you want to know what Johnny Test has got up its sleeve, do you? Well, we're going to make this one extra special by making it a double feature! Greetings, the world of the internet. I am the great Matthew Squeak, and welcome to Squirrel Talk Review. Johnny Test is a kind of weird hodgepodge show that takes so much inspiration from everywhere, stirs it all together, and hopes it works. Now, this show is kind of weird in the sense that most shows are either majoritively hated or liked. Johnny Test somehow managed to stay about the middle, having about the same amount of people praising it as well as hating it. I remember liking it personally, but I haven't watched any for a couple years, so let's go back and take another look at the show, starting with the opening.
Johnny Test. Got a head of fiery hair and a turbocharged backpack. Johnny Test. The genius sisters use him like a lab rat. Johnny Test. The neat-free dad at home, a super busy mom. Johnny Test. The boy's best friend is a talking dog. That's right.
It's pretty much just shouting its name over and over and over and over and over. It's really not that interesting, and really not that good either. So part 1, Johnny Cruise, starts with... Was the animation always this clunky looking? Johnny Test gets a package.
Package for Johnny Test.
What is it?
I don't know.
Who's it from?
I don't know.
Where's this joke going?
Well, what do you know?
That I have a lot more deliveries to make today. So goodbye.
Oh, that's right, nowhere!
That's your punchline? You really need to work on your delivery.
We quickly meet the rest of the family, the mother, the father, and 2 genius siblings, just like a certain other pair of genius siblings. So, apparently, Johnny has won a free, totally not suspicious at all cruise.
But since you kids can't get lost on a ship, we can pretend we don't have any!
Works for us.
Is wearing multiple clothes just a trend in this world?
You know, I don't remember entering any cruise contest.
Johnny's the only one that senses something is amiss, and
you think it sounds fishy. Get it? Ocean, cruise, fishy. Who cares?
if you have to take the time to tell us why a joke is funny, it wasn't funny. Also, any chance you could slow down a little? This episode took off running at 100 miles per hour, and I barely have enough time to digest anything that is going on. We cut to the ship and use the same clothes on their clothes gag again. They already did that, and they didn't do anything new or interesting with it.
What do you want to do first?
I want to figure out how I won this trip when I didn't enter any contest.
Once again, Johnny is being the smart one by being overly suspicious. Johnny is not supposed to be the smart one. We take a brief glimpse to see what the parents are doing.
Now is the time to relax.
You're right.
You know what? I'm tired of commenting on these every time, so... And the parents aren't even doing anything we care about. Neither are the sisters.
Okay, let's put our lab coats back on and run!
Finally, we cut back to Johnny, who's found...
Why are we in the Arctic Circle?
We're not. We just left Pork Belly. But there's still an iceberg heading right for our ship!
How or why is there an iceberg? And really, guys, you couldn't think of anything less cliche than an iceberg?
Captain, iceberg ahead!
And thus enter the villain, and revealing the obvious trap is indeed a trap. And what is his plan, you may be so inquired to ask? Doesn't matter if you're not interested in it, we're listening to it anyway.
I told you I never entered the sweepstakes, but you didn't care!
It was a free cruise! Who doesn't love a free cruise?
And now that you and your family are on board, I will crash said ship into yonder iceberg. As the ship sinks, I romantically save Susan and win her heart forever.
Because I got an innator and an overcomplicated scheme.
You are going to crash an entire ship of innocent people, including her parents, in hopes that she will go out with you. Get a life! He locks up Johnny and puts his plan into action.
Hello, Susan, dearest.
Speaking of dorks.
Oh no! The ship has hit an iceberg! I must save you romantically.
I'm not sure which is worse, your lousy acting or the fact you're using the remote right in front of her.
You never entered a vacation sweepstakes, did you?
Nope.
You know, that might have actually been a funny line. If Johnny hadn't been telling everyone that since the beginning of the episode. We had a few more numbers on the counter.
Nope, that's not it.
Is one of these supposed to be funny? Just spouting meaningless references doesn't mean anything. You have to go somewhere with it.
You got something for us?
You're wearing it.
I'm not even gonna ask.
Well, I am. Dookie was clearly wearing only padding a moment ago. And how exactly did you get this under your sister's swimsuit, you weirdo? Eugene's plans quickly get out of hand.
Okay, my plan and all my passengers quickly went south.
What's the plan now, Captain Idiot?
I am open to suggestions.
Oh, just play out the end of the movie where Rose hogs the floating piece of wood all to herself and lets Jack drown. It would be a fitting end to this annoying character.
We should probably all scream now.
We hit the bottom of the ocean?
But the ship won't sail in that shallow of water.
Okay, I'll just call the Coast Guard and tell them to come get us. Huh?
Not so fast, Captain.
Yeah, you know all those other people that may not have escaped or need medical attention because some idiot trashed the ship? Screw 'em! Tess family wants their vacation, and...
Oh, waiter!
Okay, I know it's all his fault and all, but I think I'd rather him pay for a new cruise than have him do literally any kind of service work for me. Because he's demonstrated he's rather pathetic at everything he does. So that was part 1, and definitely not as good as I remember it. The story was too fast-paced, leaving little time for development or jokes to sink in properly. Johnny is the only one that smelled something fishy. Everyone else was just too busy playing dress-up. But we're only halfway done here, and I think I need to take a moment to enjoy something a little less fast-paced. Nothing like a commercial to interrupt the pace of things. Enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump into the second half of the episode with Rated J for Johnny. Are all of these episodes created with a stupid Johnny-based gag? We open with Johnny being a nuthole, but his father still takes him to where he wants to go. The video game store, where he wants to acquire...
Smash Badger 9, the revenge of Whoopsin' a Whoopsin'.
No dogs allowed at the store.
What dog?
I'm not a dog, but an hallucination in your mind.
Okay, a point to Johnny Test there. That was actually a rather funny moment. They race home in an overly dramatic fashion. Like you've never felt like you were leaving trails of flame as you rushed home to start a new game that you were excited over. One Mario, I think, reference later, and...
I hate this game.
What? You just got it! You only played for 3 seconds! Doggy need more info!
Oh, trust me, that is all it takes. That is all it takes for a truly bad game to tell you that you are in for a long road of suffering. But that's not why Johnny Test has a problem with it. No, he wants a more mature game and has his eyes on...
Toxic Battle Blast 4!
Toxic Battle Blast 4 is the #1 game in the world, and it's awesome, and causes 5 different syndromes, and there's one problem.
5 different syndromes? What kind of game are you advertising here? So it's back to the video game store without the ride from the father, I might add.
Do you see the dog?
Dude, there's no dog in the store now. Give me the game!
That was boring. The first time was rather funny, but they didn't escalate it at all.
Kids, Toxic Battle Blast 4 is rated M. For mom won't let kids under 18 play it.
So that's what that stands for. But the store owner sticks to the rules and doesn't cave. But not before he spends a minute hyping the game up to a kid that can't buy it. What is wrong with you? Why couldn't he hype it up to another customer and have Johnny over here? Oh right, then they'd have to spend more money on the animation process. We cut to later of try number 2 as Johnny tries to get his mother to purchase the game.
Okay, so you have the game, and you have your mom. Now what?
I grabbed some I-rated games as in I...
Really guys, you couldn't find anything else to reference for these titles? No clever play on words? Who would even buy these?
Never know.
The extra cost will deplete your life savings.
But it will be totally worth it. Wait, my savings?
Did that dog just talk?
You're
You're
hallucinating.
Hallucinating.
And we're back to being funny again. It naturally doesn't work as the mother sniffs out the plot.
That game is rated M, for it will most definitely cause nightmares and antisocial behavior. Oh, shoot your eye out.
He takes the strategy that many kids have. When mother says no, you ask your father.
Forget it, Johnny.
Oh no. You'll shoot your eye out?
Finally, Johnny heads to his sister's lab. Something he probably could have done in the first place. Cut through a bunch of meaningless references later, and... The last episode did that too. Is that just a style? Cut to random things and see if people are entertained? Look! 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 I am entertaining!
Hello, Robot Dad.
What do you think you're doing?
I need Toxic Battle Blast 4, and I need Dad to buy it.
Violent video games can cause nightmares, Johnny.
You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
And we haven't tested Robot Dad yet.
Then we'd be glad to test him for you and give you an in-depth analysis of his pros and cons.
We want detailed notes on how well or how poorly Robot Dad performed.
Hello, I would like to buy this video game for mine.
We'll just jot down possible nuclear meltdown as a possible slight negative side effect. Cut to try number 4, which is pretty pathetic.
Oh my gosh, Patrick, you have a mustache!
No trench coat, no spy equipment. You didn't even bother changing your clothes or making yourself look taller. That joke goes nowhere, but we are about to see the pinnacle of this funny gag line.
Yeah, I'd like to buy this game.
Your hallucination. I stopped drinking coffee. Leave me alone.
I forgot I already talked to him.
Nope, wasn't worth it. Way to go out on a low note. So, just like a mature, responsible adult that Johnny claims to be, he starts bawling his eyes out that he can't get the game he wants. And enter the convenient old lady. They couldn't think of any other over-the-top way to wrap up the plot, so whatever, let's get this over with.
I'll buy the game for you.
You will? Wow, what a sweet old lady who understands today's youth.
I charge a $40 buyer's fee.
You penny-pinching old broad. Oh, but it does remind me of my own grandmother. You penny-pinching old broad!
You want the game or not, kid?
What? No! Well, that's That's all the money I have, and I'm saving it for a rainy day.
You had plenty of money and gift cards earlier, and you didn't buy anything. What happened to all that stuff? They try one more time to rehash the talking dog bit, which is old news at this point, so they barely even try. They get the game. They run through the same hyped-up new game gimmick, and finally...
Make sure you're old enough to play, because it can freak you out.
Ooh, we're so scared. And let's play...
Toxic Battle Blast 4!
Oh my God, I shot my eye out. You'll shoot your eye out, kid.
And that's the moral of the story. The parents were right all along. Cue the nightmares.
Blood. Zombies.
And that was... Okay, and that was... You can stop now. That was... Hit them with something!
Right.
That was Johnny Test. I have no idea what I saw in this thing before, to be honest, but now I kind of see how it manages to stay in the middle of the road. The characters are kind of annoying and morons, but not quite the I want to strangle them all point. It did make me laugh a couple times, but those were too far and few between. The animation isn't really all that great either, but I've seen far worse. Johnny Test is mediocre. While it does have some good points, it just doesn't have enough of them to warrant this being quality entertainment. So with that being said, you are free to continue liking or despising the show as you see fit. I am the great Matthew Squeak, and this is Squirrel Talk Review. I thank my loyal subjects for watching. Please like and subscribe to me. And you may also donate to here on my Patreon.